How the Other Half Learns, Equality, Excellence, and the Battle Over School Choice by Robert Pondiscio is a compelling, deeply reported exploration of one of the most debated and politically charged topics in American education, school choice and the inequality that persists in public education. Pondiscio embeds himself for a year in Success Academy Bronx One of New York City's most controversial and successful charter school networks, to uncover how it achieves such striking academic results with low-income children of color, and at what cost. What emerges is a textured, provocative story about ambition, opportunity, and the messy, human realities behind institutional success. The book opens with Pondiscio's personal stake. A former public school teacher in the Bronx himself, he is not neutral about education. He is driven by a belief in the power of schools to change lives, but also skeptical of the easy narratives pushed by both critics and champions of charter schools. From the start, the reader is placed in the noisy, high-pressure environment of Success Academy, a school that feels less like a warm, nurturing place and more like a relentless machine built for academic rigor. Its founder, Eva Moskowitz, is a polarizing figure, celebrated by some as a revolutionary, reviled by others as authoritarian. The book does not shy away from this tension. Pondiscio takes us through the school's rituals and routines, showing how every detail, from hallway transitions to word walls, is designed to produce order, discipline, and learning. Success Academy demands an extraordinary level of compliance from students and, perhaps more importantly, from their parents. Parents must attend meetings, answer calls, and follow through on strict behavioral expectations at home. There is a bargain at play. In exchange for educational excellence, families must buy into a demanding culture that leaves little room for dissent or nonconformity. This sets up one of the book's central themes, the myth of universal access. While Success Academy is technically a lottery-based, open enrollment school, not every family can or will remain in the system. The children who succeed are often those with parents willing to play the game. Those who push back, question policies, or struggle to meet expectations are subtly, or sometimes not so subtly, nudged out. Pondiscio confronts this head-on, arguing that the real selection process is not academic but behavioral and cultural. The school doesn't cream the top students, it cultivates a population of families that align with its values. Yet, the results are undeniable. Success Academy students consistently outperform their peers across the state, often rivaling affluent districts despite the challenges of poverty. Pondiscio does not dismiss this, instead, he tries to understand it in human terms. He interviews teachers, staff, parents, and students, weaving a narrative that refuses to reduce anyone to a caricature. Some parents are grateful, even reverent, about what the school has done for their children. Others are conflicted, feeling excluded or demeaned by the school's rigid culture. The book spends significant time with school principal Lavinia Mangro, a young woman of color with a formidable presence and laser-focused mission. Her leadership style, part military commander, part maternal figure, embodies the paradox of Success Academy, a place of opportunity wrapped in rigidity. Through her, Pondiscio illustrates the emotional and physical toll of maintaining excellence under pressure, both for staff and students. Teaching at Success is not a job, it is a calling, one that consumes long hours, mental energy, and emotional bandwidth. Pondiscio also zooms out to examine the policy debates that surround schools like Success. He critiques both the left and the right. Progressives who romanticize public schools while ignoring their failures, and conservatives who see school choice as a panacea without grappling with the inequities it may exacerbate. He is particularly critical of the simplistic view that all students should have access to great schools, without acknowledging the scarcity of such institutions and the cost of replicating their success at scale. There is a moral tension throughout the book that Pondiscio refuses to resolve. Is it right to build a system that works extraordinarily well for some while excluding others by design? Is the success of a few worth the systemic stratification it may reinforce? The book invites the reader to wrestle with these questions rather than offering easy answers. It becomes clear that education reform is not just about policy, it's about values, power, and whose children are deemed worthy of investment. The narrative is grounded in real, intimate moments, a child crying in the hallway, a teacher struggling to hold attention, a parent beaming with pride at a math achievement. These vignettes elevate the book beyond policy critique and into the realm of storytelling. They remind us that education is always personal, and that behind every data point is a child with dreams and challenges. Pondiscio's writing is empathetic but unflinching. He gives credit where it is due. Success Academy has undeniably raised the bar, but he also holds the mirror up to a system that thrives on exclusion as much as excellence. He challenges the reader to consider what kind of education system we want and what we are willing to sacrifice to get there. Equality and excellence, he suggests, may not be as compatible as we'd like to believe. What makes the book especially powerful is its refusal to align neatly with any ideological camp. Pondiscio is both a critic and a defender of Success Academy, depending on the moment. He respects the aspirations of low-income families and the dedication of teachers, but he also sees the human cost of relentless expectations and the quiet weeding out of misfits. He reveals the contradiction at the heart of school reform, that in trying to equalize opportunity, we may be building systems that replicate the very inequalities they seek to dismantle. In its final chapters, the book returns to the students, those who remain and those who have left. Their stories are varied, complex, and deeply moving. Some thrive, others stumble. Pondiscio doesn't promise transformation for all, but he does suggest that for some children, schools like Success provide the only real shot at upward mobility. He asks whether we can afford to reject what works for these children just because it doesn't work for all. Ultimately, How the Other Half Learns is a call to look harder at the realities behind slogans like school choice or educational equity. It is a sobering account of what it takes to deliver high achievement in disadvantaged communities, and the toll it exacts. The book urges educators, policymakers, and citizens to move beyond abstractions and face the hard trade-offs of reform with clarity and humility. Through his deeply reported, richly human account, Pondiscio exposes the uncomfortable truths behind one of the most successful charter networks in America. He doesn't offer easy solutions, but he insists that we confront the real question: what are we willing to tolerate, demand, or give up in pursuit of educational justice?